Hello, everyone, and welcome to this first edition of the Profitability Power Hour. I am your host, Wendy Y. Bailey. I'm known as your income acceleration mentor. And what I thought I would do on this first episode is to tell you a little bit about myself and share my vision for this talk show and answer any questions you have and share a little bit of content. Okay? So let me jump in by sharing a little bit about myself. I will be a business owner. I've been in business. I can't talk straight. I've been in business now for almost 16 years. In June of 2018, I'll celebrate my 16th year. I'll cross that threshold. And I got to tell you that I am loving being an entrepreneur. And I love being an entrepreneur because I'm pretty good at it. And, despite some ups and downs, which are very natural and normal when you're an entrepreneur, I'm really good at what I do. I'm here. I'm still here, first of all, after almost 16 years. And, I started my career as a coach after I was voted off the island, as I like to say it, from corporate America. I had served in the information technology, telecommunications industry as a senior manager, a C-level manager. And, when I was voted off the island, I wanted to kind of figure out what was next in my life. And I thought it was an awesome opportunity to kind of find out who I wanted to be and really live the life that I felt like I was truly called for. To live. And all roads for me led to coaching. All roads for me led to coaching. I am excited about this show. And it's because I get to share some information and tidbits and stuff to help my clients. And hopefully my clients are tuning in, you're watching. I sent a notice out to my list. I invited people from my tribe to be here, to be part of this inaugural show, to showcase you in some way. When I started coaching, and I didn't just decide I was going to be a coach. I did go through professional coach training. I went to Coachville, Coach Training Alliance, Coach U, the Fearless Living Institute, George Washington University. So I've got a lot of education and training as it relates to a coach. I'm also certified as a neurolinguistic programming practitioner. And the way that I use NLP is to help my clients create massive influence. It's also a big part of the sales conversation and the strategy I teach around sales conversations. And I love what it does. When I learned NLP and got my certification in 2006, I think it was, for NLP, what it did for me was it made me feel bilingual. It put me in a position of teaching, training, serving, supporting in a way that was just different than anything I had done as a coach. NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming, for me, gave me a new depth in how I could connect to my clients. And that's really what I teach. One of the 4 pillars of NLP is rapport and connection. And what I teach and what I train my clients in. Hey, Dave, glad to see you here. I think that's Dave. Is that Dave? That's Dave. Great to see you here. What I like to teach my clients in is the beauty of, thank you, Dave. I appreciate you saying that. I'm gonna show your comment because I love seeing those kind of comments. But the whole NLP for me has created a depth in terms of the rapport and connection that I'm able to make with clients. And that's what I like to teach my clients, is that rapport and connection is so important and is so necessary when you are in the marketplace, when you are connecting with people one-on-one in person, when you're having dialogue, when you're blogging, when you are posting stuff on social media. Rapport has to be part of it. When I first joined social media about 2008 is when I joined social media. So it's been about 10 years for me. And when I first joined social media, the thing that became clear to me was there were a lot of people out there who were just posting links, just putting links in the marketplace. There was no relationship, there was no dialogue, there was no conversation. And so in, a few years, about 8 years later, when I discovered NLP, I realized that, yeah, you're in dialogue with your clients, even when you are posting on social media. So I teach and I train my clients to really exercise and to create that kind of dialogue and that energy so that people engage and people, act on the content that you're giving. And what I see most of my clients struggle with is, creating that kind of conversation. So let me take a minute and tell you a story that I share with my clients a lot. Imagine that your website is your home. It's your permanent residence for your business. It is where you want people to come to get to know you, to get to like you, to experience you, and grow to trust you. And so when they come to your home, your website, that permanent residence that you've created, what you have to do is find a way to get them to ring the doorbell, get them to, once they ring the doorbell, know that you've opened the door and you've invited them in. And each area of your permanent residence, your home, your website, is really a space where they can learn and get to know you more, and they can get some benefit from being part of that room in your permanent residence, in your home. And so everything you do on your website, on social media, let me back up and say it a different way. If you think of your house as your permanent residence, your home, your website as your home, your house, your permanent residence, your goal is to say something to engage people on social media and invite them to your home, to your website. So think of that as a dialogue. And think of that as not speaking to groups and groups and groups of people. You're speaking to one person at a time, because that's how your content is consumed, one person at a time. So what you say on social media is like going into the community and, planting a seed. It's like going to a neighborhood and, telling somebody something that's going to attract them to your website. It's like going into a community center, a social place, and having a dialogue with one person in that place. And that one person says, oh, I want to learn more about you. Let me come to your website. Let me come to your home, your permanent residence. So that's the first part of it. The second part of it is to get them to ring the doorbell. Okay. Ringing the doorbell means that you have something on your home, at your website, your permanent residence online that people want. So they ring the doorbell to get it. That's a lead magnet. That's your subscribe bribe. That's your downloadable PDF. That's your downloadable MP3 or MP4. That's what invites them to ring the doorbell. So now they ring the doorbell. They give you their email, their name and email address. So you've invited them into your residence. And so now with that lead magnet, you're creating a dialogue. You're with that lead magnet, with that subscribe bribe, you've invited them into an area of your home. It may not physically be on your home, but it's closely connected to your website. Okay. So they download the PDF, the MP3, the MP4, whatever it is that they rang the doorbell to get from you. And now you can actually have a one-on-one conversation. So your lead magnet is created for that one-on-one conversation. You're saying, hi, one person, thank you for showing up and being part of this. I'm so excited that you are here to share this. Here's why I created this, is because I really know and understand your needs. And here are the concerns I know you have. And this particular conversation piece is designed to help you more and more get to know me and how I can help solve the concern that you have, the problem that I'm really familiar with. Here's a little bit about my background And wow, there are other opportunities for us to continue the conversation, and here they are. Now, taking it back to the metaphor of the home, once they're in that space in your home, on your website, reading your lead magnet, your subscribe bribe, it's a great opportunity for you to introduce them to other places and spaces that are part of your website, that are part of your permanent residence, your home. One of the things that I see a lot, and I actually did it in my book as well, in the back of the book, after people read it, I said, do you want to know more? There are lots more programs and services that I can offer you. So I shared some of those as part of it. Just remember to be conversational in everything you do. Your permanent residence, your online community, your home is your website. And so your website needs to be written conversationally. Your lead magnet needs to be written in conversation. Remember, you're having a dialogue. And I always like to say that when you're thinking of this dialogue that you're having, this conversation that you're having, imagine that you're sitting in a room in your permanent residence, your home, and your ideal client is sitting just across from you. And in sitting just across from you, your ideal client and you are having a one-on-one conversation. That's how you need to write everything. That's how you write your social media updates. That's how you blog. That's how you write your lead magnets. That's how you develop content for your group coaching programs. That conversation is really about nurturing and building that relationship that you want to have with your most ideal clients. So if you haven't figured it out, let me just tell you, my most ideal clients are committed coaches who are ready to go to that next level of financial success. You've been around in the marketplace for a while, but you're ready to gain some real traction in areas of income acceleration and revenue generation. And you know that your sales conversation needs some support. You know that your marketplace influence is just not reaching the right people. You know that you've got the goods to support the right clients, but you're really focused on attracting them, and I can support you in those areas. So coaches, committed coaches. I also work with speakers, professional speakers. Oftentimes, professional speakers also have additional services like coaching and consulting, where they are serving their clients through their programs, through their projects, through their products. So I serve professional speakers as well. I also work with what I like to call emerging thought leaders, people who have a powerful voice in the marketplace, but they haven't quite figured out how to fully monetize it. You know that people are kind of following you and they love hearing what you have to say. And because they're there, you're now ready to have them invest in your program, services, and products. They want to hire you, and kind of finding the way to make the transition for them, help them make the transition is part of what you want to discover how to do really, really well. I like to tell folks I'm a beast at helping my clients double and triple and quadruple and even quintuple their income from coaching and consulting. And that's because I really do understand that you've got to have multiple streams of income. You've got to have passive and active streams of income. Active streams of income are obviously those that are directly tied to your efforts. And, you are constantly in the mode of engaging people to provide those services to create that active income. Passive income, on the other hand, is money you make while you sleep. It's, setting up automation and, products and services that can be delivered without you being a part of that delivery system. Passive income, again, is money you make while you sleep. People go to your website, they see something, a program, a service, or product, and because they see it, they click on the link, they enter their credit card information, and they buy from you. That's passive income. I love when I wake up in the morning and I see that someone has actually bought something or enrolled in a program. It totally makes a difference, but you've got to have the systems in place to do that. Now, I have over almost 16 years of experience, and I've seen and experienced, let me put it this way. I've experienced having automation, not having automation, creating passive income, not having the systems in place. So I know a lot of the tools and processes that work. And I know really clearly that there's always something out there for you to be part of, to plug into, to create that passive income. But you've got to sort of set the invitations in place across your online presence so that it is something that you can do with ease and effortlessness, the passive revenue. I wanted to share a little bit with you today about an upcoming event I have. It's called Income Acceleration Day. As the Income Acceleration Mentor, of course, I've got to have Income Acceleration Day. And Income Acceleration Day is a virtual, intimate group coaching intensive designed to focus on impact, influence, and profitability. So talking about it on the Profitability Power Hour is really important to me to be able to share that with you. So at Income Acceleration Day, there are 3 high-level areas that we're going to focus on. The first is I'm going to work with you on some mindset strategies, because what I find is folks who are trying to reach that next level, what got you where you are won't get you where you want to go. So you've got to have a whole different set of tools and resources that will help you get to that next level, that next place. Okay. The other thing that I want to make sure you hear and you understand is that becoming an influencer in the marketplace means that people are following you. People are attracted to what you say. People are engaging with you. Hey, Margie, glad you could jump in and join me. People are engaging with you around your content. They want to hear what you have to say. They want to learn more about what you offer. They want to be part of what you're sharing and serving. So influence is really about you being visible. You've got to be visible in the right places, and you've got to be visible in the right way. So making sure that you have a story, a marketing story, if you will, that has that NLP stuff that I talked about a few minutes ago, that has that rapport building, that connection making kind of stuff that really is going to serve you and support you as you share your story with your potential ideal clients. So the piece that we're going to work on at Income Acceleration Day is the creating your marketing story. So it's rich with what I call sensory language and steeped in sensory attraction, so that you get a lot from those clients, out to those clients, so that they know they want to work with you. It connects with them. It builds rapport. It nourishes them. It nurtures the relationship that they want to have with the person with whom they're working. And then the third area that I'm working with folks on at Income Acceleration Day is profitability. Yep, you guessed it. Profitability is really, really important, and understand that you may already be profitable, and I think that's amazing. I'm there to help you reach your next level of profits, to improve your bottom line profits in a way that you go, wow, I can really see myself accelerating my income and really reaching that next level of financial success. I'm a marketplace influencer, and it shows in my bank account. That's what I want you to experience after Income Acceleration Day. At Income Acceleration Day, we're actually going to create your personalized profitability plan that includes multiple streams of active and passive income. So not just the stuff that you engage with people on and you work with people on, but also the things that help you earn money while you sleep. So we're going to talk a little bit about systems. I'm going to share some resources with you, but more importantly than just the resources, we're going to map out your personalized profitability plan. There are 3 services that are part of your profitability plan. The first are DIY services. So do-it-yourself workbooks, PDFs, MP3s, self-paced study guides. Those are all DIY services. So your client signs up for it, whether it's free up to hundreds of dollars, Okay, that's a range for the DIY services. And your client signs up for it. And based on signing up for that DIY service or those services, you're going to see that line item or several line items by product or program on your personalized profitability plan. Okay, and then we're going to look at the done with you services or DWY services. Those are services like one-on-one coaching, group coaching, intensive, VIP days, boot camps, live events, webinars. Those are all done with you services, and they tend to range from hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars. That's a fee associated with those services. And yeah, there's sample coaching that you may do if you're a coach. But what I want you to look at when you are building your profitability plan is identifying very specific services where you're going to earn money, where you're going to know exactly what type of income that spells for you. Is it active? Is it passive? When you're going to do it. So you're going to have a schedule associated with when those events will occur as well. Okay. And then the third type of service is done for you or DFY services. So done for you services are consulting gigs, special projects that your client may ask you to do for you. I have had a client, and from time to time I do this for my clients. I wrote their curriculum for their digital university. They were getting ready to launch an online school, if you will. And I wrote the curriculum for them. They gave me a high-level outline, and I fleshed it out based on our conversation. I did the work for them. There are lots of done-for-you opportunities for you if you're open to that. Now, in the done-for-you services, the prices range from thousands of dollars to larger thousands of dollars. So you might start a done-for-you service at, four figures. So $1,000 up to, $10,000 or $90,000, whatever it is. I'm making it up, but I want you to understand that the range of services is different for each one of these types of services. Okay. So at Income Acceleration Day, we're going to look at each one of these areas for you. And based on looking at those areas, you're going to walk away knowing exactly what you've got. Because sometimes people come to me and what they say is, I've got a lot of stuff I've done. I've been around a long time, but I just haven't seen the kind of traction that has hit my bank account that I want it to. And I say, okay, tell me what you've got. And they start telling me about this thing that they've created, this piece of content that they've got, this service that they've offered. They did this thing at one time and then they stopped doing it. And when we sort of marshal everything in and bring everything in and put it on paper, there are services, there are programs and products that they can actually put to the marketplace with just a little bit of tweaking and a little bit of scheduling and accountability. And all of a sudden, they're able to see the income and the results, the fruits of their labor for actually creating that. That's what we're going to do at Income Acceleration Day. I designed the day, the first Income Acceleration Day I did as a live event in September of 2016. And I designed the event as a live event initially. And then later that year, I actually did it a couple more times as a virtual event. And what I realized is that the virtual event worked really, really well. And I could reach more people and support more people and serve more people by doing it as a virtual intensive. And at the first one that I did live, the aha that I found most of the people in the room had was around this profitability plan, okay? Because they hadn't considered how they spend their time versus where they make their most money. So we look at things like that too and map it out and create sort of a calendar, a launch calendar, if you will, for those events so that they can actually plan and build and not just decide one day, I want to do a program or I want to do a boot camp or I want to do a VIP day. And the next day they think it's going to happen and it's going to sell out. It does not typically happen that way. Some very intentional planning, some very strategic marketing, some strategy around launching your program, services, and products has to be in place. And that's part of what we talk about within that personalized profitability plan. We look at it, we talk about it. And because it is, hello, I see someone else just joined me, welcome. Because it is intimate, it's not for more than 15 people. I like to keep the groups of Income Acceleration Day guests small so that we can interact and we can support each other. And I say support each other, but I'm supporting you, and you're there and you're learning from the other people who are in the virtual room as well. You're growing, you're gaining from that experience of being part of this learning that we do. The people in the Income Acceleration Day, the guests that have been part of Income Acceleration Day, have really sort of been surprised at how much we were able to cover in a short period of time. It is focused on implementation. It is focused on immersion. We're going to really get down and dirty with these concepts that I'm talking about. And, what I want you to know is you're going to walk away with something tangible that's truly going to make a difference for you as you move forward to grow your business, to build your business. So I've been talking about Income Acceleration Day, and feel free to share this video. Feel free to walk through and share questions. I'd love for you to, I'm sorry, I'm moving my computer around. That was not my plan. Feel free to post your questions. I'll check out your questions and respond to those questions as we go along. I told you that I wanted to give you some content, so I'm trying to find the page where I wrote down what I want to do in terms of sharing content with you. So give me just a minute to find that. Give me just a minute to find that. While I'm finding that, why don't you tell me a little bit about you and what brought you to the Profitability Power Hour? What brought you to the Profitability Power Hour? I want to hear from you. I want to know what brought you here, what's got you interested, what's happening in your world, and how I might support you in some way. I'm looking through my content book. Just want to make sure I give you something that is of value to you. While you're waiting on me to find what I'm looking for in terms of my content book, I want to make sure that you understand that we're going to be here every week at 5 p.m. Eastern, right here on my Facebook page. I'm also syndicating this broadcast to 5 groups that I have, and sharing this content is viral. Share the video, share the video, share the video. I'd love for you to share the video. I want to make sure that you know that I'm here really to support you. Let me bookend that page because I want to come back to that at some point. I won't do it right now. One of the things that I work with my clients on is scripting. Okay, scripting. When you're in the throes of a conversation, and earlier in this broadcast, I shared with you that every time you're reaching out to a potential client, you are posting on social media, you're blogging, you are posting on Twitter, you're posting something on Instagram, you're sharing something on Facebook, you're writing something or creating an article or posting an image or something on LinkedIn. Wherever you are, it is about establishing a connection. It's about creating a conversation, a dialogue with your most ideal client. So when you're in that conversation, sometimes it's hard to know what to say. It's hard to know the right words. And that's why I totally believe in scripting. One of the key areas that I believe in scripting is sales. So I want to talk for just a few minutes about sales scripting. When you are making a connection, whether it's on social media, on those platforms I just mentioned, or you are actually making phone calls, or you are blogging, remember that there are some key elements of your sales script that need to be there. The first thing is your most ideal client, the one person that you're in communication with. That one person that you're in communication with, your conversation has to be about them and not about you. Okay. So as you're crafting your script for whatever you're doing, remember that it's always about the other person and not about you. It's about your ideal client that you want to attract and not about you. Okay. So think about your scripts in that regard. Think about what you want to say in that regard. Think about what you want to do with them and why it's something that's going to be important to them. Okay. So as you're thinking about it, think about why it's important to them and why it's meaningful to them and what you're going to say that lets them know you hear them, you see them, your message is for them. So it's the what's in it for them part of the script. The other part that you've got to include in your scripts, and I'm going to give you one more and then I'm going to close. The second thing you want to do in your scripts is you want to make sure that your language is free of jargon. Don't go talking to somebody about something they don't understand. You know, in coaching, we have a lot of terminology that is very coaching specific. Instead of using that coaching specific jargon, talk to your clients in a way that lets them know you can communicate where they are. Okay. So be very clear and jargon free in your conversation, in your dialogue, in your scripts. And then the third thing I'm going to share, and again, I'm going to close out after this. The third thing I want to share is that when you're in this dialogue, when you're having this conversation, again, no matter where it is, you always want to add value. Add value. Sometimes that is sharing a resource. Sometimes that's, creating something that's very thought-provoking. You've got to add value. You may share something that is different than anyone else. You may share something that's similar to what other people are sharing. Share it in your own way and make sure it adds value to the script, to the dialogue, to the conversation that you're creating as you are reaching out across social media and all those platforms I just mentioned. I'm Wendy Y. Bailey. It is, we've been here about a half an hour, so I'm going to, wind down. The video will continue to be here. Remember, I'm here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And post questions below, share the video, and visit Income Acceleration Day. It's happening soon, so be sure to check it out. And I hope I can serve you and support you in a big way through this Profitability Power Hour. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here, and have a great one. Take care. Bye-bye.